What is going on, DIY community? It is Ryan from RoofCo. We're going to take a look today at the #1 leak and #1 repair that we do on all residential homes, and that is simply a pipe flashing. Hey, you see these white pipes that stick up out of the back of your house, sometimes on the front of the house? Well, it's just simply an exhaust vent for your sewer gas, okay? One of the things that allows your toilets to flush, your sinks to drain, etc. Well, the way we flash around these pipes that stick up out of the roof is we use a rubber, it's called a pipe boot basically. And that pipe boot, well, as time goes on throughout each season, years and years, as it gets hot, it gets cold outside, this seal just literally fails. Okay, it's one of the things that almost like clockwork, every 7 to 10 years, you're gonna have to do something about this component of your roof. It's just general maintenance. Okay, so we're gonna show you today exactly how to do that. We're gonna give you a quick solution, and one of those, and we've talked about this in previous videos, is you can go to a local home improvement store and you can pick up what's called a rain collar. Okay, it's a secondary or redundancy collar that you can just slide right onto the top of this, and in situations where the pipe flashing has maybe just got a couple cracks in it, or maybe it's just beginning to crack, this is a very good solution to not have to replace this entire component. Okay, but if the flashing's gotten a little worse, you know, this redundancy collar is not always the best solution. Okay, so what we'll do is we're actually going to take this off. I'm going to show you how we use a 3-step system to make sure you're not going to have another problem with this until it comes time to actually have to replace a roof. So let's get started with that real quick. A couple tools that we're going to need for this job. Number one, you're going to need a roofing hatchet. You don't need a hatchet, but I certainly like to use that for reasons I've explained in the past. Okay, you're going to need a basic pry bar because we're going to have to pull the nails out of all of these shingles around the area. You're going to need some roofing cement once we finish things up. And the final thing that you're going to need in order to cut some new shingles, unless you can reuse these, you're going to need a good hook blade. So those are the components that we're going to need in order to redo this. Obviously your shingles, your nails, etc. as well. We'll talk about that as we get started. So let's go ahead and get started. Cool. All right, now that we've got everything taken apart, now we want to just do a quick inspection, make sure that there's no other big challenges here. So we'll generally take a look, make sure there's no, no obvious signs of wood rot, etc. This is obviously in good shape, just to display here. But now what we're going to do is we're going to show you exactly how we reinstall the pipe flashing with that extra layer of protection that we talked about. So first thing you want to do, go to a home improvement store, grab one of these, and you have to be a little bit careful, and I'm going to show you here in just a second, is that these come in different sizes. You can see right here, this is a 1 to 3 or a 1.5 to 3 inch. This is a 3 to 4 inch flashing. So you just want to be a little bit conscientious. That way you don't end up buying the wrong one, have to go back to the store after you've torn your roof off. And yes, I've done that. So first thing we have to do is we want to install the new flashing. It just goes right down on top of this pipe. Now, something you have to be conscientious of here is this pipe is likely connected to another PVC pipe somewhere within the house. Oftentimes there's 90-degree bends on there. So you don't want to be too forceful around this, because if this pipe gets disconnected down there, it's going to rain inside there, and then at that broken joint, you're going to have another leak. So you can actually install a Versa cap. We'll put one of those, a link to that in the comments below, but a Versa cap will actually go over this, still allow it to exhaust and keep the rain from getting in there. Again, one of the important things is going to be the nail placement for where you put these. Okay, you don't want to put it too close to the edge where it's going to possibly start to get pulling out. So what we want to do is we want to drive a nail in right up here in the corner, about 1 inch over on both sides. Drive that in, put another one over here. There we go. Now, you don't have to put these at the bottom. I personally like to. Again, kind of the same rules apply right here, but I want to put the nails right over here, again, so that way water is not going to get caught anywhere unnecessarily. So let's drive the nails in here, and we'll seal those up here in a minute. Now, This is okay. Okay, you can stop right here and move forward with reshingling on top of it. However, we like to add another layer of protection here. And this is a product called Ice and Water Shield. It's actually a membrane. It's something we actually put on the bottom edge of the roofs as well. But what this product does is it's another layer of protection. And what makes it a little bit different than the black paper on the roof is when you drive a nail through this Ice and Water Shield product, it actually forms a seal around that nail. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take this Ice and Water Shield, okay, and we're gonna grab our blade, okay, and we're gonna cut around so that way this product covers all the edges where water could potentially, you know, if a shingle blows off, you know, down the road, could get in underneath here. We want to take away all of that possibility. So we'll just put it up here, do a couple clips for our measurements. Okay, and we'll just cut out around where that pipe flashing is going to be here. This doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be close. Okay. Pull the paper off the back of this. Okay. And I'm going to trim that up just a little bit more. Go. Trim that up. We don't need it all the way. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to pull that down just a little bit more here. So here we go. Looks good. Okay, we'll drive a couple nails through that just to make sure it's set. Throw our trash away here. Keep it in spot. Okay, now this Ice and Water Shield product, as the sun gets on this, this is just going to literally stick down and you will not be able to take it back up once it properly seals in. Okay, so now that we've got our Ice and Water Shield installed, now we've got to install the next shingles around it. So when you're installing these shingles, for the sake of saving some time, I went ahead and just did this already, but you want to cut out around the pipe flashing so that way shingle slides down, all your edges line up. And again, we've got our factory edge over here and we're good to go. Again, when I'm nailing this, I want to make sure that I want to try to keep any nails as far away from this penetration while properly securing this as possible. So what we're going to do, we're just going to drive the nails in, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, so that way we still have our 4 to comply with manufacturer specs. There we go. Okay, so now we've just got to keep shingling all the way up. So we've got our next shingle here. Went ahead and already pre-cut this as well. So again, fit around our pipe flashing, line everything up, and finish nailing it. So as you can see, once you get everything back put together, this process really starts to fly and it doesn't take all that long. And a project you can easily take care of yourself if you want to get on the roof and do items like this. But if not, give us a call and we will help you out. Again, I'm going to avoid nailing directly above this here. Ooh. Go. And one more here. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and finish shingling this all the way up and we'll have our repair completed. Again, let's turn this over, line up our edge. Okay. And if you want, I'm going to show you one other little roofing hack, and that's when the shingles are cold, sometimes the snips actually works a little bit better to cut shingles than even a hook blade does. So we're going to do a little snip right here, another one here, and we'll just cut that all the way through. I'm just using a regular pair of snips here, nothing special about these. They even have a little rust on them, so they'll work just fine. Now we are cooking with gas. We will have this done in no time. Our nails, and I lost my roofing hatchet, so here we go. Didn't lose it. We're going to secure this shingle here on the opposite side. So as you can see, again, not a very difficult repair to do, but a very, very critical one to make sure that you are not going to have any more problems around what is commonly known as the biggest challenge that people see on the roof, and that is just simply taking care of all your pipe flashing. So go, one last nail, Okay, and our final finishing piece here, sorry, 2 more pieces to go here, but anytime that we do a repair, I want to install this additional rain collar so that way we've got 3 layers of protection: the ice and water shield, the boot itself, and our additional collar. So that just slides right over the top there. I'm going to finish this repair out by sealing any exposed nail heads. If I was going to finish this out, I'd put 1 more row of shingles up here so these nails wouldn't be exposed. I'm going to seal all these down, put some sealant on top of this nail head, right here, and again over here as well. So that way we've got everything 100% sealed, you're good to go, and that is how you take care of a pipe flashing. If you have any other questions or we can provide any other information to you, please feel free to reach out to us, leave a comment below, be sure to smash that subscribe button, that way you get notified anytime we have a new video coming out. We really appreciate your time, and if there's anything you need, just let us know.